My stay in the seminary, perhaps this was the happiest time of my life in that sense. No? There was the sadness of leaving home, there were little homesicknesses. Came from a very close family, so to leave the family was a struggle. But then we had contacts. They would come on visiting Sundays. I'd go home. But then gradually, this was the family for me. We had a very good bonding among us seminarians. We fooled, teased, argued sometimes, but we were really very, very fond of each other. Really was a beautiful community. I felt so very much at home. And our professors were good also, in the sense that they were really mentors. Our rector in particular, I remember Father Ferrando, he was very, very loving and very concerned. But he loved every seminarian like a father loves his children. I remember the great bonding we had. And that's true. That's true what you say. It was a little struggle to leave home, and then suddenly I found never really left home. I found this a home away from home, and it was really a happy, very happy time. I was here for 10 years at a stretch, unusual because that time, so I didn't get regency. We had 3 years of languages, then we had 3 years of philosophy and 4 years of theology, and they went by fast. My first 3 years were busy because after I joined, the International Eucharistic Congress was held in Bombay in 1964. And I was in one of the committees, really. I was secretary of the music committee, part of the liturgical committee. So for about a year, I was very involved in that. So the rector had allowed me to skip classes, so I could skip class, go for these meetings, these practices. So it was a lovely time. Now, there was a big focus on the academics at that time. I think there was a focus on the all-round formation. I'm not saying that there isn't now, but perhaps we swung gradually to a focus mainly on the intellectual formation. The spiritual formation was taken for granted. It was done in the first, we didn't have the propedeutic year which we have now. We had about 6 months or 4 or 5 months of intensive spiritual direction and care under Father J.B. Fernandez. A very beautiful time when we thought to pray. Almost exclusively the first months were devoted very much to spirituality. And then it was taken for granted that you're on the tracks now, you follow up and now focus on studies. Now the pastoral work is very much structured and organized. It wasn't so much that time. That time you were sent to some parish and you taught catechism. Now it is the very gradated, planned pastoral. That certainly was not there that time. The human formation, Father Rector would give us some talks. There wasn't much of an focus on that. Now after St. John Paul II insisted on that, all the seminaries in the world are giving focus. So really the first few months spiritual formation, and then the academic formation. That really was the thrust. But because we had these professors who were like mentors, we looked up to them. They were role models. Every single one of them had some good quality, and they all cared for us. We could sense that. It was a happy family. First of all, discipleship of Jesus. So contact with Jesus and wanting to follow Jesus. And having met Jesus in prayer, then afterwards, I want to give Jesus to others. That's the basic. Then I would fill up the intellectual, the human, the skills, etc. That would be, for me, the genuineness of a vocation. And once that basic is there, then you can build on. My own theme is to reconcile all things in Christ. Very similar to restore all things in Christ. I put reconciliation because I felt called to working towards reconciliation and peace. And I think that therefore restoring all things in Christ, I think very, very relevant today. There are conflicts all over the world, and therefore Christ is certainly the answer. The gospel is the answer. The gospel is not followed, so even by Christian nations. If that is put back, I think that's probably what Pius X wanted. The first document on evangelization was Maximum Illud by Benedict XV, just around the time of the First World War. And the world was dark and confused and depressed. And he spoke of the solution is Christ, the gospel. So the same thing, I think Pius X following might have had the same principle. The gospel is about love, gospel about peace, about justice. Everything the gospel speaks of would be a solution to our Indian problems. The other religions also teach for peace and justice and love. We are a spiritual people. The spirituality should go deep. Maybe we're not, the religious leaders, Christians and non-Christians, have not taught our people to go deeper into religion and deeper into their scriptures, rather superficial ritualism. Ritualism is not the solution, not religion. That's really the misunderstanding, and I would say that's the reason why there are problems in India. I think if we can build on religious harmony, understanding, it would be a big service to the country. Oh yeah, 60 years. The seminary will be a great seminary. I've seen it so from the very beginning. I was the second batch, I think. It was inaugurated in 60 and I joined the seminary in 61. So I was there practically at the beginning. And then I've been in touch with the seminary because I went to Jamshedpur for a short time. I wanted to work as a missionary. I told Cardinal Gracias I want to work as a missionary. So he sent me to Jamshedpur. But then I went to Rome. And after coming back from Rome, then soon I began teaching here. So I was very much associated with the seminary right through, except when I've been out of Bombay. Rome, Jamshedpur, and then I was in Agra as Archbishop. Otherwise I was teaching here right through. So lots of contacts, and the memories of the past often keep coming when I come here. Happy times I had. The camaraderie among us was fantastic. I mean, it's something I think I think something like the army, as they all those of the same batch are always, they talk of the past. We feel the same. We feel the same. And for the future, there are now we are going to revise the whole formation a little bit because we've got a document from Rome giving new guidelines, etc. It's just being passed. We'll probably approve it soon at the national level, the Bishops' Conference, and then we'll try to apply it to every country. I can see this tremendous possibility because we've got an excellent staff who's very, very well trained, got very good students, well motivated, got people who've got very many natural talents. Like when I meet the students, I see how much of talent there is. So there's really great possibility. The fact of us being in the city of Mumbai has got a big advantage. There are lots of professionals around whom we can count on to help us in the formation. I would like really the seminary to become even better. It's very, very good, should be even better, should be the best in India. I didn't want to be bishop. I remember having told Cardinal Simon Pimenta, who was my archbishop, I said, listen, people are talking that I'll be bishop. Can I ask you a favor? And he was a bit surprised. I said, please make sure I'm not a bishop because I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I was a specialist in canon law, I was in a tribunal, I was chancellor, judicial vicar. So I was enjoying the work, and don't destabilize all this by making me a bishop. I have to get out. And then he said, I'll see what I can do. I don't know whether it's too late to do anything about it. And then one fine day I got a call from the Holy Father wants you to be bishop. It was distressing, but I accepted it. Okay, the Lord wants it, the Holy Spirit wants it. And then shortly afterwards, another call again from Rome saying, the Holy Father wants you to go to Agra. I had never been to Agra. I was really frightened to go to a place where I knew no one as an outsider. I was very well accepted. I was very happy there, 6 years. So then all of a sudden again a call from Rome and says, the Holy Father wants you to go back to Bombay. And then I was happy to come back to my home diocese. But I was a little disappointed because I was just beginning to get to know the place well and making an impact there. And then over here, and yes, and biggest surprise when suddenly, very soon after, I got a call again, a telephone call, and said, the Holy Father is nominating you Cardinal. I said, me? And I remember I called back again, are you sure? I said, I'm too young to be a Cardinal. I remember I told the nuncio, I said, are you sure you're not making a mistake? Please double check. He said, no. Yes, but then gradually you accept God's will, you try to fit into the job that yours and fulfill it to the best of your ability, to see what the Lord wants, to work for the church and work for Christ.
You manage.
I want to say, yes, it's tiring at times, is it, because of health concerns. Lots of people are praying. I mean, that's the only explanation I can give, that I'm able to keep up the pace that I'm doing. Different tasks the Holy Father particularly has been assigning to me of late. I do it as the Lord wants it, okay, I'll do my best. But I would have been happy to sit down in my room, read, pray, and meet friends that I can't do. But thank you for asking this. I think it's prayers that of people, lots of people tell me they're praying for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Cardinal.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe.